Hi, this is Andre Faust, and I'm with Kris Austin here in New Maryland. Kris is the leader of the People's Alliance Party, the Parti Alliance. And I just heard you finish speaking, and you were speaking about the double taxes. How does that affect the average New Brunswicker?
In many ways. The double tax is, well, New Brunswick is the only province in Canada that actually charges a double tax. And what it essentially is, it's any property that is not owner occupied. So every small business, people that own 2 pieces of property, if you own a cottage or a second home, you're charged a double tax. Again, businesses are charged a double tax. Landlords are charged a double tax. So a landlord that's charged a double tax, what's he or she do? They trickle it down to the rent, so the tenants are paying for the double tax in the long run. Yeah, it affects a lot of people. I would say a good chunk, if not the majority of the province in one way or another.
Now, as a business owner, how would that affect?
They pay the double tax. They're taxed. Like, for example, if you've got a small business in a municipality, they would pay the tax rate within that municipality for their property, whatever business property they're running out of. The province then charges what's known as, it's not always double, but pretty close to double, an additional tax on top of that property. So they're paying to the municipality, they're also paying to the province. New Brunswick's the only place that charges property tax as a provincial government.
Can that affect employment?
No question. Because if you've got a small business, you know, that say has 4 or 5 employees, and you're paying $15,000, $20,000 a year in taxes, and your profit margins are already tight as it is, especially in rural areas where you've got businesses that are struggling with population decrease, more of a senior population. Young families are moving away for work. So small businesses owners they're already struggling, and then you put in that double tax on top of it, and for a lot of businesses that's why they close. They can't operate. And I think it goes to what we were talking about a moment ago with the double tax, because if you eliminate the double tax, you're helping everybody, including the small business owner in a rural town. I use the example of Doketown, the B&L in Doketown, a restaurant, agency store, and a little convenience store there. Well, they're paying a ridiculous amount in property tax to the point where the owners are ready to walk away from it. So if you eliminate the unnecessary and unreasonable taxes, then you give the small business an opportunity to make a go of it. And then what money they're saving in taxes, they can reinvest in their business, they can hire some more employees, so that the government still gets the revenue at the end of the day, but they get it in a more honest and upfront way.
Okay, you just answered another question, was where the money was going to come from if you remove the...
And not only like our understanding is it wouldn't only meet the deficit by eliminating the tax, but it would also increase it, because by eliminating the double tax, you're also getting developers and people outside the province that are now going to start looking at New Brunswick where they're not looking right now. You can look at like developers like Colpitts. There's one in St. John that we worked with, Historica Developments. Now that gentleman, Keith Bordeaux, he's in St. John because he loves the city. He was born and raised in St. John. But he knows that he could make twice as much money in Nova Scotia or Ontario or anywhere else doing the same thing he's doing in St. John, but because he loves the city, he's staying there. But there's so many developers that won't stay in New Brunswick, that, because they want to make a profit. So I'm convinced that if you eliminate the double tax, you're going to more than increase the revenue. The government will be better off in the long run. It might take a year or two before everything balances out. The government will be better off in the long run because you have more jobs and you'll have more opportunity because you're not taxing businesses out of any profit.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Kris, and hopefully we'll have another talk in the upcoming days.
Awesome.
Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you.